Hello everyone. Today we're going to be learning how to move a servo motor with a photoresistor, as demonstrated here. I will be using the building scheme, code, and examples from this placemat. Let's get started. For this project, you're going to need an Arduino Uno, a breadboard, a 10K ohm resistor, a photoresistor, a servo motor, and a handful of jumper wires. Let's start by connecting our servo motor to our breadboard and Arduino. We're going to take 3 cords to connect this motor to the Arduino Uno by putting it in the 9 slot. Next, we'll connect this motor to the positive end of the power rail and the negative or ground end of the opposite power rail. In the end, you should have a motor that's connected to the Arduino Uno and the breadboard in these locations. Next, we're going to give power to the circuit by connecting a red cord to the 5-volt slot and a black cord to the ground. These will correspond to the positive end and the negative end. Your circuit should now look like this. Next, we're going to run our circuit through a photoresistor. We'll start by taking this cord and connecting it to the J5 slot. Next, we'll take our photoresistor and connect the F5 spot to the E5 spot. Finally, we'll take our resistor from the B5 slot and connect it to the ground. The last step we have to do before we're able to code it is to connect a space in between these 2 resistors to the A0 port of the Arduino Uno. There. Now our motor is connected to the photoresistor. Let's move on to the coding. We're going to use the Arduino IDE to do our coding and upload it to the circuit we just made. We'll start by including the servo library and creating a servo object called servo1. Then, in the setup portion of our code, we need to say which pin the servo is attached to. In our case, pin 9. Next, we'll get into telling our servo what to react to and how. This will be done in our loop section, so it'll run repeatedly. We'll create an integer called light value, which will be read through the photoresistor connected to the A0 pin. We'll then use the map function, which changes one range of values, in this case 0 to 1023 for the photoresistor, to another, in this case 0 to 180 for the servo motor. Finally, we'll output this new value to be written or shown through the servo. Make sure that your IDE knows which port and Arduino type you're using. On a Mac, you can navigate to Tools and Port to double check. Finally, we're going to compile our sketch to make sure we coded everything correctly, and then run it to see the magic happen. You can now see that the servo motor changes position depending on how much light the photoresistor receives. Now it's your turn to play around with the circuit. How can you tell a story with light using the photoresistor? Maybe you can make a flower grow when the sun comes out, or hide, fill away when it's cloudy, or anything else you can imagine.